Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Bonanza Kickoff Show, brought to you on both Facebook and YouTube. Fresh removed from another day and night of college football bowl action. A day and a night that saw the likes of Oklahoma taking down Texas A&M. Congratulations to Mike Gundy and the Cowboys for getting the job done. Also, Virginia Tech, even though I didn't pick them, got to give them some props. They ran for a ridiculous amount of yards in the rain in Annapolis in the Military Bowl against Tulane. Really, they just went off in the fourth quarter. 41-20 the final in that one. USC beat Louisville. Well, enjoy your championship because you're coming to the Big Ten. And you are going to get so foobarred beyond belief. I'm telling you. And of course, West Virginia, and what I'm now referring to as the Pepto-Bismol Regurgitation Bowl. Probably could explain why I'm wearing the Citrus Bowl t-shirt between Iowa and Tennessee. That is the Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl. Whoever thought about putting those two together must have been ill. There's no other explanation for it. I can't figure that one out. There is a significance to wearing this. And I'm reminded of a game that those two teams played back in 1987. It was the old Kickoff Classic. It's the only game that I can recall where Iowa was driving for an apparent touchdown. They had a 4th and goal, and they tried to run an option play, and there was a defensive lineman or linebacker. I'm not sure what his position was, but let's put it this way. If you watched James Harrison in the Super Bowl against Arizona and how he went about the business of picking off that pass and returning it for that record-setting 100-yard touchdown, well, this would be kind of like that. Only difference was it wasn't a pass play, it was an option play. When have you ever seen a defensive lineman or a linebacker intercept an option pitch and go the length of the field for a touchdown? Well, it actually happened that day, and Tennessee, backed by that, ended up winning the game by 1 point. And I mean, I could still hear Keith Jackson's call of it. Oh, he's huffing and puffing, the aches and pains are coming, it's a touchdown! So, yeah. Iowa and Tennessee, incidentally, that game, the way things are turning out now, I don't know if anybody's going to score a point. Joe Milton opted out. And that's Tennessee's quarterback, by the way. So, all bets are on for that game. I'll make the prediction in due time on New Year's Day. But right now, we got some business to take care of. We're doing not only today's picks, but tomorrow's as well. And there's a reason for it. You may have noticed that I have not been wearing my glasses lately. Well, I got glasses being picked up tomorrow morning. Brand new ones. Just had my eyes examined. All because I had tried to put my regular ones on. These are my prescription shades. Now, they were kind of, I don't know what possessed me to have them like this, but I arced the earpiece back just a little bit, and it snapped off. Or actually, it kind of slightly unhinged itself from the rest of it. I put them on, and then I started feeling them kind of falling away from my face, and like, what just happened here? And then, next thing you know, it was, oh. So, been long overdue for a new pair. So we'll have them ready for tomorrow. definitely for New Year's. And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Pardon me a moment. I got to do my due diligence. Cheers to Nick Saban. I'm drinking a Coke. I'll probably do that again New Year's Day when I go about the business of picking the Rose Bowl. But anyway, 4 games to pick today, and another 4 for tomorrow that will also be picked today. So we're going to go right ahead and get right to it. Only because the first game starts at 11 o'clock this morning. So we want to make sure that we have everything. Yeah. There will not be a fallen laner today. There will not be one. Bet you there probably will be. Anyway. We start with the Fenway Bowl, the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Oh, my goodness. SMU and Boston College. If Boston College... This is going to be a tough one to tiptoe through the minefield because we've seen already what home field advantage has done for some teams. This might be the only exception where they're going up against an SMU team that's looking to build on what has been the most surprising season, I think, in school history, in my estimation. Can't say no to the Stangs, and I ain't about to start now. They're ready to ball. We'll see how they fare up there at Fenway Park up in Boston. SMU over Boston College. I just love the idea that we go from Fenway Park to the Bronx and there's no baseball involved. Only football, which explains the Pinstripe Bowl. Rutgers. Rutgers and Miami. Do you really think I'm going to wear Miami one more time? Not today. I have my reasons for liking Rutgers. I have my reasons for picking Rutgers. Rutgers gets the dubious distinction of having a team stockpiled in great names like Manangai, Longerbeam, Igbinozen, and Salami. Can't make that up, folks. Just can't. I love this team. I do. Eventually, at some point, I'm going to have to get myself a t-shirt, a hoodie, some jogging pants, and a ball cap. So, Rutgers. Got to. Plus, they're red and black also. Predominantly red and white with a touch of black. Let's put it that way. So, Rutgers, I'm hoping. I mean, this isn't exactly old school Big East football we're talking about where Miami is favored by like 40 or 50 points. No, this is a different breed of animal. Rutgers. Do it. Win it. Go Rutgers. On to the next one. We have the Pop-Tarts Bowl. We almost had a lanyard fall. Now I gotta dislodge itself from the one I'm picking here. It's the Pop-Tarts Bowl where it's trying to rival the infamous Duke's Mayo Bowl in terms of food for thought. And my food for thought is go ahead and eat your Pop-Tarts. Just don't put any mayo on them. You know, after last night, I was so pissed. So pissed. I tell you what, if Matt Berry was choking on whatever the hell it was he was eating, I wouldn't give him the Heimlich. I wouldn't give him CPR. You eat your words. Less to choke. I'm sorry. I'm just, if he's on the call for that bowl next year, I'm not watching it. I spent part of that night with the TV muted. There was no escaping it. If West Virginia hadn't played in that game, I wouldn't have given that bowl a second thought. You know, when you've watched as many bowl games as I've had already, there comes a point where you need to recharge, and it happens with it. It happened with the Hawaii Bowl this year. Guaranteed rate. I didn't get to watch any of that one. Well, I'm not even going to concern myself with talking about that one. And probably Duke's. That's it. Now, being that it is the Pop-Tarts Bowl, well, needless to say, the folks in Orlando can't get a sponsor to stay on board for longer than, 3-4 years. Let's see, what do we have? Camping World? They're not camping anymore. Now they're eating Pop-Tarts. I swore there was another one. There was another one that they had when they gave Orlando a second bowl game. But anyway, we're not going to concern ourselves with talking about food already. So, NC State is playing Kansas State, and I was going to mention that this is now being referred to as the Nylon Lanyard Bowl because it's the only bowl game that I know of that the two teams playing in it, I only have nylon lanyards for. NC State, Kansas State, should be a good one. I mean, really, both teams, probably more so NC State than Kansas State, they were kind of flying under the radar. Everybody was riding the coattails of, let's see, on the ACC side, you had Clemson, Florida State, Duke, North Carolina, and NC State, as they always seem to kind of, find their way, a steady ascension into the bowl conversation, and they're playing in it. Kansas State, I wouldn't think of them in the same capacity as, say, like a Memphis or a Marshall, where you're going to count on them being in a bowl game every year. I mean, there was a point there where it didn't look like they were going to make it, and then they started catching fire late in the season. So, whoever wins tonight is going to have a nice off season. But being that I got a guy who is taking care of me and all of my helmet needs, that's right, it's none other than my main man, Kevin the Helmet Guy. I'm taking his wolf pack simply because, first of all, he's got in-laws that are West Virginia fans, and he's an NC State grad. So we're going to make this a twin killing. Boom. I'm going to take NC State tonight over Kansas State. Now, I couldn't wait. I could not wait to do this one. The Alamo Bowl, Arizona and Oklahoma. If you haven't seen Arizona yet, tonight is your best chance. And I am hoping that Arizona shows up and balls out the way they did the last month and a half of the season. Jed Fish has done a fantastic job in handling everything for the last couple of years, taking a team from the cellar of the Pac-12 to middle of the pack, and now they're in the bowl season for the first time in a long time. And the guy to watch tonight is quarterback Noah Fafita, who I think is going to give Oklahoma some problems. Oklahoma hasn't seen a team like Arizona. And while Oklahoma is the so-called sexy pick for a lot of the so-called experts, I, however, denounce it. And I'm going with Arizona. Yeah. I'm going with fucking Arizona. Yes, I dropped the F-bomb. I'm going with fucking Arizona. Simply because Oklahoma's leaving for the SEC and Arizona's coming in to scent mark what Oklahoma has left behind as they are now going to join the Big 12. That takes care of those picks. Now we get to the Friday slate. Beginning with the Gator Bowl, Clemson and Kentucky. And I got lanyards in a bunch. No surprise there. And true to form, it did fall. It never fails. Doesn't matter if I do it here or if I do it at Cameron. There's always going to be a lanyard that'll fall. It's become now somewhat of an infamous trademark of mine this year. Anyway, Clemson and Kentucky. It just gave me an idea. I'll do this, I think, after I get done with the picks here. Clemson is playing Kentucky in the Gator Bowl. And Clemson, I'll tell you what, it's a tough call on this one. But I'm going with a more experienced Clemson team to beat Kentucky. Really, I have nothing on this one. Just, name recognition of Dabo Swinney's about all I have. That's it. And I got nothing further on it. So I'm going to go ahead and take Clemson over Kentucky in the Gator Bowl. The Liberty Bowl. Memphis and Iowa State. This is a fun matchup, I think. Liberty Bowls typically have produced some good ones over the years. It's one of the longer tenured bowls. It's right up there with the Rose Bowl and the Sun Bowl. Sun Bowl's coming up shortly. But I tell you what, it's a tough call. It's another one of them tough call picks. When you consider my bowl record going into today is 13-11, I am flirting with mediocrity, folks. Flirting. For every one win, I get 2 losses. So, we'll see how things play out. But as for this Liberty Bowl, I'm going to go with Iowa State because they struck me as a team that's found its footing, found its rhythm, and they seem to be carrying, I think, a lot more momentum into this. They're going to want to ball out tonight, and I think they will. However, I am reminded of the fact that they're playing this game at Memphis's stomping grounds. Is it too late to change picks? Nope. It's already been decided. Can't change it now. So there's Iowa State over Memphis. Well, that'll definitely put me below 500. So the Cotton Bowl, Missouri and Ohio State. Well, first of all, this is too unusual of a matchup. Too unusual. Especially considered that Ohio State's quarterback, McCord, has packed up and left for Syracuse through the transfer portal. You're Ryan Day now. You got Devin Brown starting. And you're not sure about the health of Marvin Harrison Jr. You're not sure about Travion Henderson. And I tell you what, Ryan Day's been dealt a bad hand since the Michigan loss. And I still believe in the Buckeyes. I do. However, on the other hand, you have Missouri and that triangle of terror that consists of Brady Cook at quarterback, Corey Schrader, that great running back, who I'm still seeing him running rings around Tennessee's defense this year. That was hilarious. That's basically the exclamation point to anyone who didn't think that Missouri was cut out to being an SEC team. They went in and did that and a lot of other things. And oh, there's Luther Burden, too, catching the ball. Missouri is happy to be at this position here. Playing on the big stage and looking to show the nation one more time that they are what their record says they are. And Missouri, will they beat Ohio State? I hate to do this, but I'm taking the Buckeyes. I think the Buckeyes could probably find other ways to win with what they have. And if I'm Ryan Day, you got to breathe that same conviction and exude it the same way when you beat Notre Dame. You've been battle tested. This is no different. You've got to get it done. Because I'll tell you something. When you consider what lies ahead for the Big Ten Conference, not so much with what is currently occupying the conference, but who is coming in, people are going to want to look at this game for better and for worse. Once they get past the business of the transfer portal and everything else, it's pretty much apparent that this game will be looked upon through microscopes all over the place. Probably for Missouri, too, in some regard, because if Missouri were to lose tonight, the SEC, the hardcore SEC fans will be like going, yeah, you're not Alabama, you're not Florida, you're not... Well, they're definitely not Florida. Georgia. I meant to say Georgia. Missouri gave Georgia some fits, though. I want to say that real quick. But anyway, taking Ohio State over, I almost said Georgia, Missouri in the Cotton Bowl tonight, or tomorrow night, actually. And that now brings us to the final one, the Sun Bowl, at one of my all-time favorite places in El Paso. That gorgeous stadium with the mountainous backdrop, sun-splashed skies. We need that for tomorrow. We definitely need that for tomorrow. I don't know what the forecast is going to be, but we need wall-to-wall sunshine. It's the Sun Bowl, after all, and it must live up to its name. Never mind Tony the Tiger. Speaking of food for thought, how much longer until Frank's hot sauce has a bowl game? Because that would actually be worth watching and indulging. If you're going to put mayo on everything, then the hot sauce people better get their 2 cents in. I don't know who would flip the bill for it, but something to think about. I don't know if the Frank's Hot Sauce Sun Bowl would sound good right about now. Frank's Hot Sauce Fiesta. Frank's Hot Sauce. No, not caught. The Rose Bowl can't be touched. Frank's Hot Sauce Sugar Bowl? No. That's artery clogging stuff right there. Anyway, Notre Dame and Oregon State. And I'm not exactly sure what all this is going to involve here, but you have to figure Oregon State changed quarterbacks late in the year. And I believe DJ Ukulele, I'm not even going to pronounce his name. His name is Ukulele. I think he went through the portal again. He's trying feverishly to find a home somewhere where there's a coaching staff that can match his skill set or make his skill set better. Good luck. You're going to need it. And if I'm Oregon State, well, good luck. You're going to need it. Because you're about to face the Irish. And I'm going to tell you something. The last time those two teams played, we got to go back, I believe, to the infamous Fiesta Bowl fiasco Chad Johnson and TJ Hushmanzada. Never thought I'd see the day or be mentioning those names again. They hung 41 points on Notre Dame's 9 to win the Fiesta Bowl. Payback will be paid in full. First off, and I dropped another lanyard. Subtle reminder that we got to wrap this up. It's getting close to the half-hour mark, and I'm on pick number 8. Number 1, I'm picking Notre Dame. At number 2, don't just play like a champion. Win like a champion. That's going to do it for this edition of the Bowl Bonanza Kickoff Show. And if I may be so bold, I'm going to clench them all here. We'll be back Saturday morning for the final picks before New Year's. Until then, BR signing off for the Bowl Bonanza Kickoff Show. Lanyard drop!